going on, Vikings fans? Happy Thursday to all of you guys, and welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and we got a fun show for you guys today as ESPN had one of the worst and, frankly, one of the most embarrassing takes I have ever seen around the Minnesota Vikings. We'll dive into that here in a second, but first, this is why you guys hit that subscribe button, because if you tune in, the ESPN, Fox Sports, any of these major sports media companies, they frankly don't know what they're talking about with the Minnesota Vikings. But here at Chat Sports, we cover everything, the latest news, rumors, and even the crazy ones. We got a video coming out this weekend about Aaron Rodgers heading to the Vikes, so you guys should definitely tune in and see my thoughts on that. But please hit that subscribe button. Help us reach 43,000 subs. We just crossed over 42,000 this Sunday, and it is all credit to you guys. So help us out. Hit that subscribe button. Let's just dive into what this man right here, Dan Orlovsky, had to say. And frankly, he's just asleep. And it's just one of the most embarrassing takes around this football team. Now, I will say this. Orlovsky has been showing a lot of love to the Vikings this season, but after what he said this morning on Get Up, it was just embarrassing. So this is what he had to say. So somebody asked him, who is the biggest threat to the Lions in the NFC? He says the Eagles are, but I don't think they are by themselves. Philadelphia matches up well because of the way their talent is on the perimeter. Very athletic offensive line. But also, I think there are two other teams that I would say are capable of doing it. So I thought he was going to say the Minnesota Vikings, obviously. But no. He said, one, the Green Bay Packers. And two, the Los Angeles Rams. If we are being honest, there has been one team to go toe-to-toe with Detroit this year and played really well, the Rams Week 1. Dan, I don't know if you were watching football during Week 6 this season, but the Vikings actually played the Lions. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was asleep. Maybe I was dreaming. But I'm pretty sure this game came down to a game-winning field goal. And all the stats in this game are about dead set even. First downs, 19-16. Total yards, even. Pass yards, even. Rush yards, even. Yards per play was actually in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. And also, Dan, how about this? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat them Week 2. I just don't get it. And this is just a thought I had. Does Dan Orlovsky know Minnesota has a football team? Like, I'm so serious when I'm asking this. Like, do you think ESPN and Fox Sports and all these big sports media companies know that there's a football team in Minnesota that is having one of the best seasons that they have had over the last probably 5 years? And honestly, I just think it is comical at this point. Like, it's just an absolute clown show that's going on at ESPN. And, that's why, like, I will preach to you guys, like, do not watch ESPN. Do not watch Fox Sports. Like, tune in to, us here at Chat Sports, Purple for the Win podcast, Score North, Purple Daily. Just have any other consumption of Vikings content besides those guys. But if I'm being honest, this is how I'd want it. Like, I want the Vikings flying under the radar. I want nobody talking about the Minnesota Vikings. And it's just crazy that, you could have such a cool story and Sam Darnold, him really having this resurgence this year with Kevin O'Connell and these weapons, and Brian Flores has one of the most unique defensive schemes in the NFL, but no, they don't want to talk about them, but they love talking about the Green Bay Packers. And, I talk about the Sam Darnold blinders where people just can't take the Vikings seriously because Sam Darnold is the quarterback for Minnesota, but I think it's the same thing with the Packers. Like, this team was a blocked field goal away from going 6-4 and just being a mediocre football team. But hey, they see this logo, they look at the past history, and they can just automatically say, oh, the Packers are legit. And it's so funny, the same gripes that people have with Sam Darnold, you can make the same damn argument for Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love, he's a turnover machine. He is just a better version of Will Levis, and they just never say that about him, but they all love to say it about Sam Darnold. But why are the Vikings the biggest threat to the Lions in the NFC, in my opinion? It starts defensively. They have the best defense in the entire National Football League, and it is just so comical how people just don't take them seriously as a unit. Like, rush yards per game. What do the Lions do so well? They win first, they win first down, they win second down. Well, the Vikings should be able to take that away. 74.4 yards per game. That's first in the National Football League. First in turnovers, fourth in points per game. And they have a trio of pass rushers that is having a historically great season. Gernard, Van Ginkel, Patrick Jones II, all top 12 in sacks this year. But it goes further than that. Tackles for loss, they're all top 20 in the National Football League. And I can already see it. Well, the Vikings defense, they weren't able to stop the run when they played the Lions in Week 6. Fun fact, the Minnesota Vikings are undefeated with Blake Cashman in the lineup. And I think, since Cashman isn't like a well-known linebacker to, guys like Dan Orlovsky, like they just view the Fred Warners, Roquan Smith as these big-name linebackers where, obviously they get more of the love. But I think with Cashman back in the lineup, like I actually have some faith in the Vikings defense, at least battling with the Lions offense when they square off later on in this season. But not only does Cashman just improve like this overall defense, he really helps Ivan Pace. So here's Ivan Pace's 2024 PFF grades with Cashman in the lineup. 4 of these 5 games, he has been unbelievable. Week 1 against the Giants, great game. Did struggle against the Niners in week 2, but I thought PFF kind of screwed him a little bit with that grade. Week 5, he was great. Week 10, he was great. Week 11, he was great. So I think people don't – honestly, I don't even know if Dan Orlovsky knows who Blake Cashman is. I don't know if Rex Ryan, any of these other guys, Greeny, like I'm sure they have no idea who Blake Cashman is and the season he is having. But when he is in this lineup, this is the best defense in the National Football League. So I'll say this to you guys. Please stop watching them. Like there's a reason they laid off half their staff over the last year. There is a reason why their ratings are just going down the gutter right now. So please watch me. But if you guys, and I'm not saying like I'm 100% right about everything, but I am way more tapped into this football team than anybody else at ESPN or Fox Sports, or go watch Purple for the Win. Go watch Score North. Watch Purple Daily. Watch any of these other Vikings YouTube channels who are busting their ass besides these guys at ESPN. So I'll ask you guys this. Pick a sports media company for me. Are you rocking with Chat Sports? Give me a CS. If you're rocking with ESPN, just give me an I am a casual down below in the comment section. Curious to see what you guys got to say, but absolute joke from ESPN today. But coming up next, we're going to close out the show with a little kind of preview of the Bears game this weekend. So I'll give you guys 5 reasons why I think the Vikings will dominate the Bears this weekend. But first, got to give a massive shout out to a new sponsor we have here at Vikings Now, one of my favorites, and it's Factor Meals. Now, if you guys head over to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 and use code VikingsChat50, you guys will get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code VikingsChat50 at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Now, days are shorter nowadays during this part of the year, but your to-do lists aren't. So power through your busy days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals, from breakfast to dinner and anything in between. Factor has easy options to keep you fueled and feeling your best. Whether you like your routine or enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add to your box, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. So don't let the shorter days slow you down. Stay energized with America's number one ready-to-eat meal delivery service. And Factor, my favorite part, they just let you do you. You can choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. So check out Factor. Head over to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50. Use code VikingsChat50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code VikingsChat50 at factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. That link for you guys will be in the comments and description of today's show. All right, so the Vikings dominate the Bears if they confuse Caleb Williams. Now, I think Caleb, he's got all the talent in the world. But I also feel like with quarterbacks coming out nowadays, especially these younger cats, like processing is not something that is, really valued, I think. And I do think Caleb struggles with that. So I went back, I watched a lot of Caleb Williams tape. Start off with the good. He's great at backyard football. Making plays outside the script of the game, outside the pocket. He is very talented at that. But also design runs. We really saw that last week. Saw a couple read options. I thought that was fantastic. So watch out for this weekend. Then obviously he's got the arm talent and arm angles to really touch every blade of grass on the football field. But the negative with him, I don't really think he has good feel in the pocket. Like, us Vikings fans, we talk about how bad Darnold is in the pocket. I think Caleb is just as bad, and I think that's just because he is young. And I think a lot of people expected him to hit the league and take it over right away year one. That just hasn't been the case, and that's led to him being very inconsistent from the pocket and the processing. Like, he will see 8 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. The Vikings will bring the heat this weekend, and it's going to come down to him being able to set the protection. If he can do that, which I don't think he'll be able to, maybe he'll be successful. But again, I think the Vikings defense is going to dominate Caleb and have him seeing ghosts this weekend. But number 2 for me, a masterclass by Justin Jefferson. I think it's coming. Because if you guys saw this report that came out yesterday, that NFL scouts actually believe Jamar Chase strikes more fear into defenses rather than Justin Jefferson. I'm sure he saw this. I'm sure Kevin O'Connell saw this. And I promise you, the Vikings are going to try to get him the football this weekend. Right now, Jamar has about a 140-yard lead over Justin Jefferson in the most receiving yards this season. I got a prediction. Jefferson goes for 150, 2 touchdowns. Now, number 3, secondary's got to hold up because the Bears, they got weapons, man. And I always think it's so funny how the conversation went from, Caleb Williams is going to step in to one of the easiest, support systems to have as a rookie quarterback. And now the conversation is, the Bears aren't supporting Caleb enough. I think it's ludicrous. But, checking out their wide receivers here, Keenan Allen dominated the Vikings last year. He had 18 catches, over 200 yards. Yes, he did have Justin Herbert throwing him the football. And, Keenan has definitely looked a step slower this year. But watch out for Rome Odunze. They took him, pick number 9 this past draft, and he is an unbelievable talent. Him and Caleb really started building that connection, specifically on that game-winning drive last week against the Green Bay Packers. And obviously DJ Moore, he killed the Vikings last year as well. So if the Vikings secondary can hold up, we should get a 4th straight Victory Monday here on the channel. But, no turnovers for me. I get to say this every week. I probably will say this every week. Kevin O'Connell, 23-3 when they win or tie the turnover battle. Great stat there. But it starts with the quarterback, Mr. Sam Darnold. I thought he had his best game of his Vikings career last week against the Titans, a very good pass defense. And you're going against pretty good Bears defense again this week. So take care of the football. Still be aggressive. Just can't have those, reckless turnovers where it's a pitch to Aaron Jones, bounces off his, chest plate there. That just can't happen. This is a road divisional game. Vikings, take care of the football. You should be winning a 4th straight game. And then lastly for me, the Bears are going to have a heightened sense of urgency, but I think the Vikings should come into that game a hungrier football team because there's just more on the line for the Vikes. Like the Bears right now, they're just trying to develop Caleb, kind of maintain the ship a little bit. Eberflus is coaching for his job, but I don't think the players in that locker room are like, we got to go win this for Flus. And, honestly, if the Vikings, if they want to keep pace with the Lions, this is a must-win game. You drop this, your divisional record drops to 1-2, not good there. And then also it hurts your conference record. So all those tiebreakers at the end of the year, the Vikings need everything they can to be in favor of them if they want to potentially get that number 1 seed. So sense of urgency has to be an all-time high this weekend. But we'll close out today's show with this. Prediction time. Score on Sunday. Vikings versus Bears. What do you guys think it's going to be? I'm sitting on Vikings score 20 points. Bears score only 9. And obviously the Vikings end up getting the victory. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Also, I'm on Twitter. @PatSieps is the Twitter handle. Give me a follow over there. I'll give you guys a follow right back. But see you guys next time. Let's go Vikes.